Mirror Lake wasn't a big place. Hidden deep in the northern woods of Montana, it was little more than a patch of water surrounded by pines so thick they turned the air green. The surface stayed perfectly still most of the time, so still it earned its name. Campers said it reflected your face too clearly, like it wanted to memorize it. No one had camped there for years. But one June evening, four friends pulled up near its edge in an old SUV, tired, dusty, but laughing. They were childhood friends, reuniting after years apart. Ryan, Luke, Amber, and Kelly. "Okay," Ryan said, slapping the roof of the SUV. "This is it. No phone signal, no drama, no city noise. Just us." Luke grinned. "And bears. Don't forget the bears." Amber rolled her eyes. "Please. Bears are cute. I'm more scared of mosquitoes." Kelly didn't say much. She just stared at the lake, her reflection rippling slightly in the water. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "But weird." They unpacked their gear, set up tents near the tree lean, and started fire. The air was crisp, filled with the scent of pine and smoke. As dusk fell, Mirror Lake shimmered under the orange sky, reflecting everything. Firelight, trees, even their faces, with unnatural clarity. Luke tossed a pebble into it. "Creepy how clear it is, huh?" Ryan shrugged. "That's why they call it Mirror Lake." But Kelly didn't laugh. She was still staring. "Did you see that?" she asked softly. "In the reflection?" They all looked. Nothing but ripples. "Never mind," she said quickly. "Guess I'm just tired." Later that night, after dinner and jokes, the group sat by the campfire, the night growing cold and heavy. The woods around them were silent. No wind, no crickets, no sound at all. Then, faintly from across the lake, came a whistle. Long, low. Just 3 notes. Woo-wee-woo. Everyone froze. Ryan frowned. "You guys heard that, right?" Amber nodded slowly. "Yeah. Someone camping across?" They listened. Silence. Then again woo-wee-woo. "Probably some drunk fisherman," Luke said, forcing a laugh. "Chill, people." Ryan stood. "I'll check it out." Kelly grabbed his arm. "Don't. Please. It's late." But Ryan had always been the brave one, or the stupid one. He grabbed his flashlight and walked to the lake's edge. The beam of light cut across the surface like a blade. The opposite bank was empty. No tents. No fire. Just trees and fog slowly rolling across the water. Then, from behind him, came another whistle. This time closer. Ryan spun around. "Luke, quit it." Luke blinked from beside the fire. "Wasn't me, man." Ryan's flashlight trembled slightly in his hand. He scanned the trees again, but nothing moved. He backed away toward the camp, the silence pressing on his ears. They tried to laugh it off. By midnight, everyone was in their tents, though sleep didn't come easy. The forest had that strange stillness again, heavy and listening. Kelly woke first. Something had pulled her from her dreams. A sound. The whistle again. Soft this time, coming from right outside her tent. Her chest tightened. Woo-wee-woo. She sat frozen, heart hammering. Then came footsteps, slow, dragging, circling the tents. "Ryan," she whispered. "Luke." No answer. The footsteps stopped right beside her. For a full minute, she couldn't breathe. Then, slowly, the footsteps moved away toward the lake. She gathered her courage, unzipped the tent a few inches, and peeked out. Moonlight reflected off the water like a mirror. For a moment, she saw her reflection, and beside it, another figure standing on the opposite shore. Still, watching. She blinked, and the reflection was gone. Morning brought unease. The air felt thick, wrong. Dew covered everything, but there were tracks near the lake, barefoot, deep, as if someone heavy had walked there during the night. Ryan inspected them. Could be some local kid. Amber frowned. A barefoot kid? Out here. Kelly didn't say anything. She hadn't told them about what she saw. Instead, she looked toward the trees. For just a second, she thought she saw movement, a shadow darting behind the trunks. They decided to stay one more night, though everyone silently wished they hadn't. The second night came faster, the sky bruising purple and red. The group sat closer to the fire this time, voices low. "Anyone hear the whistle today?" Luke asked, half joking. Amber shook her head. "No, thank God." Ryan smirked. "See? Just our imagination." But as soon as he said it, a breeze swept across the lake, cold, unnatural. And then, faintly, from somewhere deep in the woods. Woo-wee-woo. Luke's laughter died instantly. "That wasn't funny." Ryan raised his flashlight. "All right, whoever that is, you win." The sound didn't stop. It grew louder, repeating the same pattern again and again, echoing through the trees. Woo-wee-woo. Woo-wee-woo. Amber stood, trembling. It's moving. She was right. The sound was circling them, coming from every direction now. Above, behind, across the lake. The fire flickered violently, smoke twisting in the cold wind. Then, suddenly, silence. They stood frozen, only the crackle of the fire breaking the stillness. Then came a whisper, right behind Kelly. Don't look at the lake. She turned instinctively and saw 4 reflections in the water. But there were 5 faces staring back. The 5th one smiled. Kelly screamed. Ryan grabbed her shoulders. What happened? She pointed at the lake, shaking, but the surface was calm again, just firelight and stars. There was someone in the reflection, she whispered, standing behind us. Luke's hands trembled. I'm done. We're leaving. Now. They started packing in a panic, tossing bags and flashlights. But as Ryan turned toward the car, his beam caught something between the trees. A person standing still, barely visible through the fog. Hey, Ryan shouted. You think this is funny? No response. The figure slowly raised one hand, as if waving. Ryan stepped forward. I said. The figure vanished. No movement, no sound, gone like mist dissolving. Ryan backed away. We're leaving. Right now. The drive down the forest road was silent, but the fog was so thick they could barely see the hood of the SUV. The road twisted endlessly, every turn looking the same. After 20 minutes, Luke muttered, We've passed that rock before. No, Ryan said, though doubt cracked his voice. Keep going. The fog thickened even more until they couldn't see anything. Ryan slowed to a crawl. Guys, I can't. A shadow flashed in front of the headlights. He slammed the brakes. The SUV skidded sideways, stopping inches from a figure standing in the road. It was a man, barefoot, head down, completely still. Ryan's voice broke. Get out of the road. The man lifted his head. It was Ryan's face, identical, pale, emotionless. Everyone screamed. Ryan floored the gas. The figure vanished as the car tore forward through the fog. They drove until dawn. When the fog finally cleared, they were back at Mirror Lake. Same campsite, same burnt fire pit. Same still reflection staring up at them. Amber burst into tears. We didn't leave. We've been driving in circles. Ryan stumbled out of the car, pacing. This can't be happening. This. Kelly pointed toward the lake. Look, the water's surface was rippling faintly, though there was no wind. In the reflection, they could see their own figures by the shore, but one was missing. Luke's reflection wasn't there. On the edge of Black Hollow Road, where GPS signals faded and the trees leaned inward like eavesdroppers, stood a house no one claimed anymore. It wasn't abandoned in the traditional sense. The lights sometimes turn on by themselves. The porch swing moved even when there was no wind. And at night, according to locals, the house breathed. Ethan Cross first saw it on a gray October afternoon. He was a freelance videographer from Chicago, recently divorced, drowning in debt, and desperate for a comeback. His YouTube channel, Midnight Archives, specialized in urban legends and haunted locations, but views had been dropping fast. Then an anonymous email arrived. Black Hollow House. No one leaves the same. Film it before it notices you. Attached were coordinates. Ethan smiled. Anonymous tips were gold. The town of Briarwood didn't show up on most maps anymore. Gas stations closed early. People locked their doors before sunset. When Ethan asked about Black Hollow House at a diner, the waitress froze. You don't go there, she said quietly. Why? Ethan pressed. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Because it remembers. According to local folklore, the house was built in 1952 by the Whitmore family. They vanished one winter night, parents, children, even the dog. No signs of struggle. No bodies. Over the years, people who entered the house were changed. Some returned mute. Some aged decades overnight. Some were never found, except for their voices. Ethan arrived at dusk. The house was massive, 2 stories, peeling white paint, blackened windows that reflected the sky like dead eyes. The front door was slightly open. He turned on his camera. October 14th, he narrated, exploring Black Hollow House. If the legends are true, this might be my biggest episode yet. The air inside was cold. Not drafty, cold like a freezer. The door slammed shut behind him. Ethan laughed nervously. Okay, classic haunted house move. But then he noticed something wrong. The house smelled familiar. Like his childhood home, in the living room stood a dusty couch, an old TV, and a family portrait on the wall. Ethan stopped breathing. The man in the photo looked exactly like him. Same eyes, same scar above the eyebrow, same smile. But the photo was dated 1954. That's not funny, Ethan whispered. The camera suddenly shut off. Behind him, the floor creaked. Ethan, his mother's voice. She'd been dead for 7 years. The hallway stretched longer every time he looked away. Doors appeared where there hadn't been any before. One room showed a hospital scene, his divorce papers lying on a bed soaked in blood. Another showed him at age 8, crying in a closet. The house wasn't showing ghosts. It was showing him. The walls pulsed softly, like a heartbeat. Thump, thump, thump. When Ethan reached the staircase, he heard voices under his feet. Dozens of them. Hundreds. Crying, begging, praying. They're still here, a voice said behind him. An old man stood in the shadows. His eyes were hollow. I was the sheriff, the man said. I tried to burn this place down. It screamed. What is this house? Ethan asked. The man smiled sadly. It feeds on memories. Pain tastes best. The floorboards began to sink. Hands reached up. The old man was dragged, screaming into the floor. Silence. Ethan ran. The house rearranged itself, forcing him downward. The basement door opened on its own. Inside were walls covered in names, thousands of them, each name scratched in human nails. At the center of the room stood a mirror. Ethan stepped closer. His reflection didn't move. It smiled. You stayed too long, it said. The mirror cracked, and suddenly Ethan remembered things he never lived. Other lives, other deaths. The house wasn't haunted. It was alive. The house was built over something ancient, something that learned to wear human shapes. It couldn't leave, so it made people stay. Every soul became another room. Every scream became another hallway. And now, it wanted Ethan's camera turned on by itself. He stood in the living room again, but the windows were boarded. The door was gone. He tried to scream. The house inhaled. The walls closed in. And Ethan understood the final truth. The house didn't kill people. It kept them. Months later, Midnight Archives uploaded a new video. No intro. No edits. Just Ethan standing still, smiling unnaturally. Behind him, a new family portrait, dated 2025. The house had remembered, and it was waiting.